Hey, it's Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. Today's the 10th, August 2017. A lot of times when I make videos, not exactly the how-to videos, but other videos about things, it's for the record, you know. And I've said to you before, I think that when words are spoken, when somebody says something, especially if it's true, it does not go out void. And what I mean by that, it doesn't just go into the atmosphere and dissolve. It shapes things, all right? Now, I know for a fact that videos that I've made, especially recently, have shaped things. As you may remember, I was denied my license to operate my butcher shop by the Michigan Department of Agriculture, and they sent a letter and they said it was because I hadn't paid my fees. And we produced the canceled check, and they said, well, no, it's something else. You got to call this guy. And we called Pat and Jim, and he said that no, it was because you refused an inspection. And we informed him that, Jim, you know that's not true. There was no inspection asked of us or coming our way at all. Nothing scheduled, nothing unscheduled. What he was referring to is a search warrant that they tried to serve on us back in 2014. And the search warrant, you may say, wow, Mark, what did you do? Well, I did the unthinkable. I did the unthinkable. I gave a ham to a chef friend of mine up in Traverse City. And this chef friend of mine posed in an online magazine with this ham and a cigar, I believe. You know, he's trying to look sophisticated. And Michigan Department of Agriculture, you know, the super sleuths that they are, they saw that picture, and boy, they're going to find out where that ham came from. And the trail led right back to Baker's Green Acres. So they came with 2 state police units and a whole pile of state cars. I think they must have had a lot of planning involved in this, and they executed a search warrant looking for more illegal hams, right? Well, the search warrant was to search my buildings, my vehicles, and my records, which means my computers, laptops, telephones, all that stuff. They could take all that stuff. Well, they never actually executed it because it was a cold day, and I think they got worried because I said, you know, let me call some of my farmer friends to come over and enjoy this surprise party, and they didn't want to stay for that. I didn't tell them they couldn't do it. I just said they had to wait. And it would have been a mere 10 minutes before my friends could have been here to witness this. If you don't know it, they have a system, and they'll put you and your family in a room, and they won't let you out of there, and then they go through all of your stuff. And if you've ever had anybody break into your home and go through all of your stuff, that's traumatizing enough. But then to have people that are actually taking a paycheck of money that's taken from you, tax money, and given to them to go through your stuff because you dared to make a ham. How dare you? And this search warrant was signed by none other than Laurel Sorensen, food inspector. Yeah, so that wasn't too good, but it never happened, and we kind of thought it was an anomaly. We thought they pulled a fast one on the judge. Judges really shouldn't issue things like that. The Fourth Amendment is very important to American people. But anyway, that was kind of water under the bridge, and my wife wound up having some health issues over that. We kind of let it go, and we said, that's it, we're going to move off the farm, and that was in 14. And had some veteran issues, and so we decided that there was still some reason to stay, you know, and continue on this farm. And so we did, and it was good. We got a bunch of stuff done, but then this thing happened. They refused to give us our license. Well, there was some dialogue between me and one of their people down there in Lansing, and he's high up the food chain. I think he's number 3. And then right under the governor would be Jamie Clover Adams, who is the director. And it shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody. You know, here in Michigan, we've got the Flint water crisis. The governor's staff is got an agenda. There's no doubt. And the agenda is not the safety and welfare of the people of the state of Michigan. It's freaking obvious. Everybody knows it. Rachel, if you hear me out there, give me a call. So I had a chat with him, and we came to an agreement, and they brought me my license a week ago Friday. And an individual by the name of Josh Felsk, neighbor of mine, guy that I've enjoyed company with, actually eaten meals with, you know, we're members of the same community, brought my license to me and handed it to me so I have my license. And many of you said, congratulations. It's no congratulations here. I paid for that. I'm paying the Michigan Department of Agriculture $150 for permission to butcher chickens. It's not like they come and help me. It's not like they come and give me any expert advice or supply me with any consumable items, or they don't do anything, nothing. They just take my money. But they weren't going to give me my license. But anyway, they gave it to me. So I got my license, and okay, we're just going to press on with life. Well, then I get a phone call from the number 3 guy, and he says, now we want to come and do an inspection 1 week later. Now we want to come and do an inspection. I said, what for? I already have my license. What do I need an inspection for? Well, it's part of the process. I told him I smelled fish here. This doesn't smell right. But I said, you know, things don't seem quite right, and we've been looking at this a little closer, and some of our friends have been looking at this a little closer, and we kind of think that there's a little bit of harassment going on here. I don't suppose this could be retribution, could it? No, nothing like that, Mark, not at all. Well, then I get another phone call the same day, and it's from one of my customers, somebody that's been a customer for about 5 years. What I mean by a customer is she raises poultry, rabbits, turkeys, and then she brings them to us. We process them in our butcher shop, and then we give them back to her, and she sells them at farmers markets. This is a person that's like me and like a lot of you out there too. Somebody that's struggling to get by and do what they got to do to make ends meet. I happen to know that she cleans at Ebel's department store, or the Ebel's store. Everybody knows what that is around here. She cleans there at night. You know, so she's raising rabbits and chickens to kind of make ends meet, you know, keep her family fed. Nobody here is taking vacations in Tahiti. So it's not like she's manufacturing methamphetamine or anything like that. She's just trying to make an honest living. But I got a call from her, and she said that Josh Felsk had told her, this was yesterday, that she was not going to be able to work with us because we were not going to be licensed. Now, there's something wrong with that timeline. He gave me my license a week ago last Friday. I got my license in hand. Then one of his upper chain people calls me and says, we need to do an inspection. And then Josh tells this customer of mine, well, he's not licensed. There's something wrong with that timeline. So it seems to me as though there was an agenda here to inspect our facility and find some reason why they could take our license away from us, right? And I think that's kind of interesting. But luckily, what they don't know there at the Department of Agriculture is a lot of farmers are very well connected, because we all live and work and struggle, you know, to make things go in this country. And what the bureaucrats don't understand, and what I mean by a bureaucrat, it's somebody that gets out of college and is real smart on things, books things, but they don't actually produce anything. They're just enforcers. They're just making sure that we live by the rules, you know, and they don't necessarily have to live by the rules, but they don't actually produce anything. They don't produce anything. So I got to be careful. I can't go over 10 minutes on that. So apparently these bureaucrats have an agenda here that they're working, and they didn't think that we communicate behind the scenes. I'm going to sign off for now real quick and then come right back.